What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? We about to get into this review. You don't see spaghetti noodles. Katrina, what you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't see spaghetti noodles. Anyway, let's get into this. This is the review of the Real Housewives, Married to Medicine, season 11, episode 2. So we pick up, this is the day after Whitnick, and we see Cecil and Simone talking. Now, first of all, Simone, I guess this is where, you've been on reality TV so long, you don't care about certain stuff, because, child, she felt the need to let us know she had the bubble guts. And I just need to let Simone know that I don't care. Oh, okay. It's all right, Katrina. I was just confused. Hey, Brandon. Simone, we don't need to know nothing about you and your bubble guts, okay? That we don't need to know nothing about that, okay? So, she's talking about how everything went with the party, everything seemed nice, but her and Quad really are at a position where they need to have a sit-down conversation. She said she really feels like they didn't really talk enough. Hey, Ravine, they didn't really get a chance to really, and that really wasn't the time or the place to have that conversation. Now, it seemed like she sort of feels some kind of way that her husband invited Quad behind her back. And she said, I know she's your favorite. You can admit it. She's your favorite. I mean, she's one of the ones you like. But I feel like Cecil knows that Quad and, right, Ravine. I feel like Cecil just knows that Quad, I mean, not Cecil, Cecil. Yeah, he's Cecil. I don't know why I was getting him and Jackie's husband mixed up. But I think he just knows that Simone and Quad at one point in time were really good friends. And I think that he knows when the cameras are not rolling, when the conversations I had off camera, that they really do miss each other. Or that at the very least, she misses Quad. And I mean, we know production had a little shove in that too. We ain't gonna pretend like production wasn't a part of it. But for the purposes of the show, for me reviewing what we see, okay? Now, shout out to my boo and my mentor, Spiller Boy TV, who y'all probably didn't realize that was when he was on Dr. Heavenly's Taco Tuesdays a few months back, and they were talking about the show and Sweet Tea when they went to dinner when her and Greg went to dinner together. They were actually talking about Sweet Tea. So Spiller Boy was in there. That was him. Simone needs to try and reconcile with Quad. This episode had me cracking up. I'm gonna say this. I feel like there's some legitimate issues, some legitimate concerns, I guess. But the flip side of the situation is, at some point, this is something I learned along. I think my grandmother taught me this a long time ago, child. You meet people, you get to know who they are, and you either accept them or you don't. Quad is who she is. She's not going to be anybody different. She's not going to change. This is who Quad has been. I think it's not fair to constantly have the same conversation with somebody about who they are. This is who she is. Now, y'all don't have to like it. But she is who she is. Now, the funny thing is, Quad treats y'all the way Melody treats her co-stars on Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's a job for her. And it seems like she does not extend herself on a personal basis when the cameras aren't rolling. So all I'm going to say is, then I feel like y'all should do the same thing in kind. Stop expecting her to be what she's not. She clearly does not see you guys as her day-to-day friends. And it's no shame in that. Maybe once upon a time, y'all were friends. Life happens. We all evolve. We all change. Like, it happens. So I just feel like at this point, y'all can't keep getting mad at this woman for being who she is. That's the same thing I say about Dr. Heavenly. Y'all don't have to like Dr. Heavenly. Y'all really don't. But Dr. Heavenly is who she is. That's who she is. So to continuously get mad at Dr. Heavenly for being Dr. Heavenly, I don't think that's fair to her, because she ain't switched up on y'all. Dr. Heavenly is who she is. But anyway, so while this is going on, we see Greg and Sweet Tea go to dinner. Can I say something? Greg and Sweet Tea ain't as happy as they want us to think they are because they trying too hard to convince us. Now, that's what I'm saying. I ain't saying they about to be divorced. I ain't saying that they're miserable. I'm saying they trying too hard to convince us that life is so good with them and they so happy and they are so content in the little bubble that they've created for themselves that I don't believe it. Now, I'm just one person and I guess I don't have to believe it. I guess don't nobody need to worry about my little old opinion, but I'm doing my review and that's what I have to say. I don't think they're as happy as they pretend like they are. All of this, them. Oh yeah, I love that. You look good. Yeah, I love that look. It's exotic. It wasn't nothing exotic about Sweet Tea look. Sweet Tea had on that Temu dress and them braids turned up in a bun with some lipstick on. The only difference is it looked like now that Sweet Tea got somebody doing her makeup professionally this season instead of last season when she was probably doing it herself from the stuff she bought down to the Juvia's place. Okay, that is the only difference. Ain't nothing about Sweet Tea look different or changed. Just look like she got some professional makeup situation going on. Okay? The braids look cute. The braids look cute. But they get to talking, and of course, they're talking about Dr. Heavenly and the party and the things that Dr. Heavenly says. Let me say this, and y'all know what's getting ready to come out my mouth. And I said it last week, and when we get to the end of this episode, I'm gonna dig a little deeper. But y'all, I'm sorry. Y'all know I love Dr. Heavenly, I do. But I can't go with Dr. Heavenly. And I said this last week, and I said it when it happened. Dr. Heavenly was wrong, dead ass wrong for what she said. She went too far. Yes, her and Sweet Tea were exchanging jabs. And I know that there are some people in this world that feel like you can't hit somebody and tell them how hard to hit back. But I disagree. And I've always disagreed. Here's a situation where you are dealing with a man who, again, we talked about this before. You're talking about a black man, a black doctor. And when you put those types of allegations out there on him, that's the kind of stuff you can't pull back. And Heavenly was wrong. And the problem with Heavenly is she doesn't give sincere apologies. She apologizes in her own words. I'm going to apologize and then I'm going to take it back. Or she's going to apologize and turn around and do the exact same thing. I feel like y'all were arguing and maybe T was getting the best of you. Maybe, when T put that information out there that you said what you said about Damon, which I do believe you said. Let me tell you something. I 120% believe that Heavenly said what Sweet Tea said she said. I 100% believe that Heavenly was like, if Dr. Damon was out there in them streets, he ain't never brought it home to me. It ain't never been public, and I'm not leaving my man. I believe that. I believe that when she said that, when Mariah said, I got the receipts, a part of her was like, oh shit. Because let's call a thing a thing. If those of you who were watching the show back when all of that happened, baby, Mariah said that thing like she knew what she was talking about. She said that with all the confidence in the world. Baby, we've seen the meme. I've got the receipts. She was very much, I got the receipts. Now, she ain't never dropped them. She claimed that she didn't drop them because she didn't really want to bring it down. She really didn't want to ruin a marriage. But girl, you put it out there. You might as well have dropped whatever you had. Does that mean she didn't have no receipts? I don't know. Don't care, don't know. But Dr. Heavenly, I believe she said it. And maybe she felt like Sweet Tea was getting the best of her, so she had to one it up. But when you start getting to see, there's some things, you calling him an abuser. Well, we saw him. I mean, hell, you were just repeating what Quad said. Quad accused him of being an abuser. So that wasn't even a big deal to me. You call him controlling. Again, well, his own ex-wife accused him of being controlling. So again, and she said it on camera. She said it at the reunion. She said it publicly. So I'm not even mad about that. It was the pedo comment that I got a problem with. That's the problem that I have, right? Because now that's the kind of stuff you put that sort of a monkey around, you put that kind of thing around a black man's neck, a man, period, but certainly a black man's neck. That's the kind of stuff you can't yank back. You put it on the internet and it's out there. And just because you deleted it, and so I'm gonna get to more of this later on when we get to this Dr. Damon piece of it. But yeah, Heavenly, you were wrong. And Sweet Tea has every right to feel how she feels. And Greg has every right to feel how he feels. Now, was Sweet Tea giving it as good as she got when it came to her and Dr. Heavenly? Yes. But do I think Dr. Heavenly went too far? I do. Now, that's my opinion. We get Dr. Jackie's yearly celebrity patient that she got to tell us about. So she's got Cash Doll having a baby, and we find out about the mother-in-law stitch, which I didn't know nothing about the mother-in-law stitch. I mean, obviously, as women, we know that, you know, your body has to be stitched up after you give birth to a baby. But I didn't know that was called the mother-in-law stitch, where you make it a little extra tight, extra tight. So that was a cute moment. But again, child, okay, Dr. Jackie, you got celebrity, you got another celebrity pregnant lady. Happy for you. I ain't mad at you. But I do find it very interesting that you went out of your way to talk about how rich Black women and disenfranchised Black women deal with the same issues and with infant mortality and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, that's a direct response to that shit that came out last year, the things that you said. And that's how you was exposed. But it's all good. I ain't mad at you. That's what you're supposed to do. Use this platform the best way you can. Okay, you better use this platform the best way you can. All right, moving right along. Right, Corey, we ain't forgot. But I see you trying to rehab. Okay. Quad is having her birthday party. And if you've been watching this show long enough, y'all know that Quad don't do nothing when it comes to celebrating herself. And as somebody who does the same, I don't have no beef with it. I ain't got no problems with it. If I had the kind of money and resources that Quad had, baby, I'd be rolling around in the Rolls Royce giving out personalized invitations as well. I don't see nothing wrong with it. We've seen this go on in different reality TV franchises, from Housewives to all of them. Love and Hip Hop's all of them. Okay. So I didn't think it was nothing wrong, but I thought it was really cute. She said, listen, I want a Moulin Rouge themed party. So she was rolling around a Rolls Royce with her own personal flight attendants, and they was getting on Quad Air. They had their passport and their ticket to board. I thought it was cute. I love that when she went by Dr. Simone's office, Dr. Simone didn't have no stank attitude and didn't be like, okay. I mean, she was a little shady in her confessional, but she came outside and she, you know, she congratulated Quad, and they laughed about the Rolls Royce and everything. I thought that was cute. See, that's what you're supposed to do. Okay. Oh Lord, Katrina, damn. Katrina, you be coming up with some nicknames. Lord, some nicknames. Then she went over to Contessa's house, and Sweet Tea just happened to be there. Her and Contessa were playing pool that neither one of them knew how to play. Contessa, how you don't know it's a white ball in pool? Now, I am no pool shark, okay? I'm no pool master, but I know there's an 8 ball that's black and there's a white ball, and I know you need the white ball to start the game. That's the ball you use to hit the other balls with, and I know the black ball ends the game. Like, I got some basic concept. How you not know? Tell me something. Is this a white ball? I've never seen a white ball before. Girl, go sit down somewhere. Go sit down somewhere. Now, I would much rather them have been having a conversation, maybe, because I noticed that both of them were drinking smoothies, green smoothies. Maybe we know that Dr. Contessa is really into holistic health and stuff. Maybe Dr. Contessa is helping Sweet Tea with her endometriosis. Maybe that green smoothie was part of a bigger conversation about Sweet Tea getting healthier and the endometriosis. I would have much rather that conversation. I would have been here for that conversation, honestly, if you really want to know the truth of the matter. But okay, girl, no problem. I don't believe Quad didn't know Sweet Tea was there, same stage. Here's what I believe happened. This is my 2 cents. This is just my 2 cents. I don't know this to be a fact. I believe that Sweet Tea was supposed to be there when Quad delivered that invitation. I do not think they did not know that Sweet Tea wasn't getting invited. I think the idea was that Quad was going to get a 2-for-1. Because remember, Quad, they're filming Quad run around town, deliver these things, right? I feel like this was a 2-for-1 where Quad was supposed to give both of them that damn invitation and Quad didn't. I feel like Quad pulled the okie doke and was like, yeah, I'm not inviting her. Now, that's what I believe happened. That's what I believe happened. I believe the idea was that Quad was supposed to invite everybody. And Quad decided she wasn't. Now that's what I believe. Tell me what y'all think in the chat. What y'all think? What y'all think? Y'all think Quad was supposed to invite Sweet Tea and that's why she was there? Because I don't think it was an accident that Sweet Tea was there. They do it all the time, y'all. Y'all know they do it all the time. Where they stage conversations and people just happen to be filming when somebody else calls and that kind of stuff. You know, that's all about saving production. I get that. I'm not even mad about it, but I really feel like it wasn't no accident. Yeah, Quad was at Sweet Tea Bachelor. Right. I felt bad for her when that old lady comment. And I do feel like that was not an innocent comment. I feel like that lady knew exactly who Sweet Tea was and knew exactly what the situation was, and she was being shady on camera. I absolutely believe that. I don't believe that was no accident. And that was shady and unnecessary. You ain't had to call that. First of all, Sweet Tea does not look like no old lady. Glasses or no glasses. She did not look like no damn old lady. Like, that was you trying to be on Quad good side. You knew exactly who that lady was. Like, stop playing with me. You knew who she was. You might be right. Contessa told Sweet Tea. Right. When the doorbell rang, she told Sweet Tea, come upstairs with me. Right. That's why I said, that's why I feel like, that was supposed to be the situation. So the ladies are getting ready for the party. They're getting their best Moulin Rouge on, for the party or whatever. And Contessa, I feel like, how does Contessa always get it wrong? Contessa is the Giselle of this show because Contessa got the body, yaddy, yaddy. She has the resources and the means, and she just can't get it right. Girl, what the hell did you have on? What was your idea of Moulin Rouge? Like, you thought you was dressing up from the Lady Marmalade video, so you thought you was supposed to be wearing lingerie? But even if you was going to wear some lingerie, girl, that was a cute lingerie way to wear it. Even Toya had to tell you, girl. Now, Toya gets it right. Generally speaking, I usually like what Toya wears. Toya has a nice sense of style. Either that or she's got a great stylist. But she's got a nice sense of style, right? Even when she's picked up weight, because we've seen Toya pick up weight, lose weight, and all of that. We've seen her go up and we've seen her go down. She always seems to dress very well for her body. And whatever the theme is, she seems to do pretty well for the theme. I want her to. I need Toya to work with these ladies. Like, you was over there with Simone and with Contessa, and both of them usually get it wrong. Simone has gotten better over the years. She has definitely gotten better over the years, but Contessa, girl, I don't know what to tell you. So we find out they're talking, so they're getting dressed for the party, and they're talking about how Sweet Tea didn't get invited, and Toya felt like Toya felt like that was wrong for her not to invite Sweet Tea. Why, Toya? Why? What in your mind makes you think that Quad should invite Sweet Tea and that Quad was going to invite Sweet Tea? I understand the TV show of it all. I understand the cast of it all. I get that part. But the flip side of it was, in what part of this world did you ever think that Contessa was that Quad would invite her ex-husband's new wife to her birthday party? And I don't think it was a fair comparison to compare what happened at Napa to, well, that's later on at the party. But I don't think that was a fair comparison. To me, that's not the same. Then they all kicked Quad off the trip. Toya was there. Yeah. So the ladies are getting dressed. So that's the conversation that they had. So then they were also talking about, Simone was talking about the quad of it all. And she said she did owe Quad an apology because she was wrong for bringing up what happened at Quad's house. Like I told you guys last week, they all agreed that they would not speak on it. And Simone spoke on it. And so that's why everybody was kind of looking at Simone like, girl, we said we wasn't going to talk about it. We agreed we weren't going to talk about it. And you did. And Simone even said, listen, I was wrong for, I went too far in trying to prove my point, and I do owe her an apology. But her thing is, but I don't owe her an apology about what happened in Napa. And I'm going to be honest and say, I agree. I do not see what I found out. I was listening to Quad and Dr. Heavenly's live last week after the premiere, and Quad let something out the bag. And if y'all already knew, that's fine. I didn't already know. But Quad let something out the bag. Quad said that even though they had that conversation with her, telling her, we don't want you here, we want you to go, they didn't think Quad was actually going to leave. And she said that Dr. Simone even called her and was like, girl, why did you leave? Because what they thought they were going to get, they thought they were going to have some moments with Quad talking to the other ladies, crying, begging, trying to understand, well, why did they send me? Why don't they want me here? They thought they was going to get some more footage with Quad in her feelings, maybe even get some tears out of her. And Quad packed her shit and went home. So that whole Napa thing sort of backfired on them because Quad did not respond in the way they wanted Quad to respond. They did not think that Quad would sacrifice her paycheck and put her job on the line by leaving. They thought that she was going to stay. And Quad was like, you told me you didn't want me there. I ain't never going to be somewhere I'm not wanted. I ain't never going to be somewhere where I'm not wanted. Well, she didn't know that Phaedra didn't want to fly with her. Phaedra lied. Phaedra lied to her about why she changed her flight. So, I mean, and it was a feasible lie. She said something about having to pick up her medicine from the pharmacy or something crazy like that. It's a feasible lie. I mean, I've literally been in a situation where I was at the last minute picking up a prescription from the place on my way to the airport. I mean, it can happen. I mean, I ain't never missed no flight, but I damn sure came close. Yeah, I mean, Quad got her happy ass on that plane and went home, and they didn't think she was going to do that. They thought she was going to stay in Napa and continue to film, just not film necessarily with them as a group. I think they thought she would film individually, like maybe with Heavenly or Phaedra. Like they wanted to try to create these moments of Quad talking to the ladies individually. That's what they wanted, and Quad didn't give them that. Child, that's why the rest of that damn Napa trip was so boring. Think back on last season. What else happened in Napa? After Quad left, what the hell else happened in Napa? Okay, we saw Phaedra go to the winery. I mean, Toya go to the damn winery and take Phaedra as her pseudo lawyer. Okay, we saw that. And then we saw the ladies go to lunch. Okay, we saw that. What else did we see? Like, honestly, if you take Quad, after Quad left, what the hell else happened in Napa? So now that I think back on it, I'm like, oh, maybe that's what they wanted. They wanted more than what they got. I said, okay. All right. Okay. Right. Inform said, I don't remember nothing else. Right. Nothing else really happened after Quad left because I honestly think they were going to fill up that Napa space with Quad and the different girls. That's what I thought. Quad and Dr. Heavenly said Simone asked her to stay before she left. Right. Because they wanted this moment. And first of all, I don't know what made them think Quad wasn't going to leave. Quad, out of everybody there, out of everybody on that cast, Quad is the one person that if you say I don't want you here, she the first person that I would have thought of that would have left. I mean, I don't know what made them think Quad was going to change her mind. Like, what made them think Quad was going to change her mind? Like, baby, Quad couldn't get to that airport fast enough. And now we found out she had a whole man at home waiting for her child. Symmetry said Quad had a man at home, okay? So the ladies are going to the party. So the ladies get to the party. It's a nice little venue. Everybody's in theme. Everybody looks, well, I already told you who I didn't think looked nice. But a lot of the ladies look nice and they're all in theme. And then we find out that Quad's man paid for everything. We see the ladies talking to the owner of the venue saying, oh yeah, Quad's boyfriend put all this together. And of course, all the ladies are like, boyfriend? Quad got a man? Quad, what? And this goes right back to what they have been saying about Quad for years. Don't none of these women know what's really going on in Quad's life. Quad does not rock with these women on that level. Hell, even Dr. Heavenly, who she claims she friends with in real life, didn't know allegedly. Now we know Dr. Heavenly will lie. We know Dr. Heavenly will lie, so we might find out later on that Dr. Heavenly did really know about this man, because we know she will tell a lie. But according to Dr. Heavenly, she didn't know nothing about this man. She ain't know nothing about this man. But that goes back to what everybody has been saying. Like, girl, you really don't F with us like that. Like, how you been dating this man for a whole year and we didn't know nothing about it? Now, to be fair, Quad ain't showed not like if you follow her on social media, you ain't seen this man. I mean, and you haven't heard other people talking about this man. And I think so. Here's the flip. So here's right, exactly, Mo Walker. It proves Simone's point, actually. Like this whole thing about the boyfriend really proves Simone's point. But let me say this: there are two sides to this coin. I want to look at. There are two sides of this coin I want to see it from. There's the side of the coin where Quad really does not look at these women like they are co-workers. So why would she extend that to them? But then the flip side is you've put yourself on a reality TV show, and you know part of the job of being on reality TV is that you share your life. So the fact that you have not shared your life frustrates the rest of the ladies because they've put their life out there, at least more than what they feel like you've done. Danielle said plenty of women don't tell their friends about a relationship until they're sure about it. I'm going to disagree with that. I mean, in my experience, I can't speak for you and yours, but in my experience, I don't tell everybody, but there are people in my inner circle who do know if I meet somebody, if I'm talking to somebody, hell, even if it only lasts a couple of weeks, there are people but I'm a talker. So, you know, y'all know I like to talk. Now that doesn't mean I tell everybody everything, but there are people in my inner circle that I do talk to that do know things. So again, that just brings me back to these women are not your inner circle. These are your coworkers who some of them you cool with and you'll hang out with when the cameras ain't rolling. But 90% of this cash you don't rock with if the camera ain't there. And again, y'all have to, when I say y'all, I mean as the fans and the people on the show, y'all just gonna have to be okay with that because Quad has said without saying it. Right. And for a whole year, like you might keep a man a secret for a couple of months, but a whole year, and she said that they have spent she said they spent every day together. How you with somebody all day, everywhere? Not all day, but how you spend every day with somebody and for a year and your friends don't know? Quintessential said, go on over there and get your Avon. She said it's lots of sales. Remember, I'm ending my Avon. I'm going to stop selling Avon at the end of the year. So y'all get on over there to the Avon and get y'all some. Matter of fact, I need to go over there and get my Christmas stuff, child. I need to go over there myself and get my Christmas stuff, honey. Quad does spend a lot of time out of the country. She really does. She really does. So we meet the man, you know, of course Funky knew. They friends in real life. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, they're friends in real life. So of course he knew. I believe Heavenly knew too. I do believe Heavenly knew. I believe Heavenly knew. I believe a couple of them knew. I think they're just pretending. I don't believe all of them didn't know, but I do. I definitely believe Heavenly knew. But we meet the man. Okay, we meet the man, and Quad gives him his flowers. Calls him. His last name is King, so she calls him King. You know, all of those things. So I'm happy for her. And Toya tried to tell Quad she was wrong for not inviting Sweet Tea. I disagree. I've already told y'all that I disagree, and I've already told y'all why I disagree. I don't think she was obligated to invite Sweet Tea to none of that. Okay. And again, I already told y'all why. So while the ladies are over at the party, the fellas and got together for drinks. Now, I'm sorry, piece of hair. Now I'm gonna cut through all the other stuff. The fellas got together, and Damon and Greg are talking about the elephant in the room, which is the situation between Sweet Tea and Dr. Heavenly and Greg and Damon. Here's my problem. I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again. Greg has a legitimate issue and has a legitimate reason to feel some kind of way about what Dr. Heavenly said about him. And what I hate is that Damon was like, when Greg was like, your wife be going for, when Dr. Heavenly goes, Dr. Heavenly go for the, she goes for the gusto, she go for the jugular, that. And Damon gonna say, don't talk about my wife. What you mean don't talk about my wife? Your wife called me a whole pedo. I could feel some kind of way about that. I have a right to feel some kind of way about your wife calling me a pedo. And I understand correcting in private, defending in public. I get that. I'm 100% understand that. However, what you don't do is make Greg be the bad guy. Talking about some, you real sensitive. That's not being sensitive. I don't think that's being sensitive. Now, again, Greg ain't my favorite person in the world. And y'all know how I feel about people making me defend people I don't like. And I like Damon, and I ain't crazy about Greg. So I hate the fact that I'm coming at Damon defending Greg. But right is right and wrong is wrong. Right is right and wrong is wrong. You are wrong, and your wife is wrong. And I understand that you don't want to disparage your wife among other people. I can respect that as her husband. But what you don't get to do is tell Greg he's wrong for feeling the way he feels about what happened. And then Dr. Damon gonna say, well, I mean, I just hate that the patients are being punished. I mean, you don't punish the patients. You don't do that. Listen, Dr. Gregory has every right to say that he doesn't want to see a patient recommended from Damon or from Dr. Heavenly based on what Dr. Heavenly said about him. If I was him, I wouldn't want to see a patient recommended by them. I wouldn't want to have nothing to do with them. There are enough therapists out there that he can find somebody else. And like he said, my practice is busy. If he can afford to let the let the business go, let the business go. And I 100% understand. And I feel like, Damon, you were wrong for trying to make Greg be the bad guy, like he's sensitive or he's wrong. I'm sorry. I don't have no defense for that. I don't have no defense for what Dr. Heavenly said, and I don't have any defense for how Dr. Damon is handling it. You are wrong. Your wife was wrong. And y'all owe Greg a sincere apology. Because he didn't do nothing first of all, he caught a stray. He wasn't even the one arguing. His wife was the one arguing. He caught a stray. And you know what I find to be so interesting? So last night on Watch What Happens Live, Dr. Simone made some side-eye comments about Heavenly and maybe or maybe not Dr. Damon cheating on Heavenly or not, right? Baby, before the show could roll the credits good, guess what? Before the show could roll the credits good, Dr. Heavenly is tweeting at Dr. Simone talking about, I heard you was talking about my man and that ain't going to end well and I didn't appreciate that. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. So when Dr. Simone says something that's a little disparaging, that's a problem. And she didn't even come right out and say, yeah, I think your husband is a cheater. I mean, she played around with it a little bit. She was like, no comment, and you can't believe what somebody will or won't do just because of what they look like on TV. Okay, that's a little tongue-in-cheek. Okay, it's tongue-in-cheek. But I found it interesting that Dr. Heavenly was down here tweeting before the credits could roll good on that episode, yet and still you expect Greg to not feel no kind of way about you calling him a whole pedo. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. And I can't, again, I like what I like. I can't help who I like. I like Dr. Heavenly. And I know a lot of people don't like her, and that's fine. I respect that. But I do. I like Dr. Heavenly. But I don't like that what's good for the goose ain't good for the gander. Okay, child, I'm so sick of cheating allegations all around. I call BS. Damon is full of it. Any man that's quiet, you better be careful. Ooh, Damon is no safe. Damon acted guilty. Lord, y'all giving it to Damon in this chat. Well, I will say this: a hit dog will holler, and maybe there is some information out there, child. Maybe Mariah did have the goods on him all along. I don't know. Heavily is about to go lower her Patreon. I'm sure she is. And y'all know I'm not on her Patreon. So come back and tell me what she said, child, because I don't know. I'm sure the blogs will pick it up. Whatever she says, somebody going to pick it up and they're going to talk about it, child. All right, we're about to get up off of here and head on over to El Teddy's place. So I set up the redirect. So if y'all want to hang on and go on over to El Teddy's and meet me over there, y'all welcome to do that. And we will be doing a tribe meeting a little bit later on. That's kind of why I did this, so I could get this in and out. And we'll do a tribe meeting about not 8 o'clock, Lord. About 7 o'clock-ish, 6:45, 7 o'clock-ish, we'll do a tribe meeting. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.